you can customize port services for certain applications. So when a user sends these types of requests to your network from the internet, the router will forward those requests to the appropriate computer. So for example, let's say a friend of yours wants to access one of your computers in your home network using RDP or Remote Desktop Protocol. And as you know from an earlier lesson, that RDP services uses port 3389. So what happens is, when your friend starts up their RDP service on their computer, they put in the public IP address of your router, and once that request hits your router needs to know which computer on your network to forward that request to, so your friend can access the correct computer. So that's where port forwarding comes in. Here on the port forwarding configuration page, you have to forward the RDP port to the correct computer. So you type in the RDP port number, which is 3389, and then you have to point it to the IP address of the computer that you want your friend to access, which is 192.168.2.3. And once that's done, the router knows where to forward that request, and the connection is now complete. A feature that's built into most wireless routers is called a guest network. And a guest network is a separate wireless network that's built into a wireless router that your guests can join so they can have access to the internet. The guest network will have its own SSID, and it's typically the same name as your main network SSID, but by default may have a -guest suffix added to the SSID. Such as network connectivity and name resolution. So for example, let's go ahead and ping a host IP address. So at a command prompt, you would type ping space, then the IP address, and then press enter. Now it's going to send out 4 data packets to the destination IP address we chose. Then the destination will send the data packets back to us as a reply. And these replies are called echo reply requests. And these replies will inform you about what's happening with the destination host we ping. For example, if we received a reply, then that means that there is general network connectivity between us and the destination. But if we did not get a reply, then that means that there is no reply from the host, and it could mean that there is no network connectivity between us. But if we ping the host and we get a message that says request timed out, then that could mean that the host is down or that it's blocking all ping requests. Or after we ping and we get a message that says destination host unreachable, then that message is coming from a router, and it means that a route to the destination cannot be found. The ping command can also be used to test DNS name resolution issues. For example, before we used the ping command with an IP address, but we can also use it with a domain name. For example, we could type ping space, then the domain name yahoo.com. So if by pinging the domain name, and if we got the same successful result as typing the IP address, then this would indicate that the name resolution by DNS is working fine. But let's just suppose that the domain name ping failed. Then the next step will be typing the IP address instead. So if by typing the IP address, and if the ping was successful this time, then we now know that we are having a problem with DNS. The ping command can also be combined with other subcommands called